Oh, yeah, about Shin Sure. And I just want to go in on the topic about how the economy is collapsing and the stocks is falling and the value is decreasing and all that other different stuff around the world. But the value of the word of Yahweh Shin Yahushua and the value of his men that he put his spirit on is going to boom. Like, it's going to be on some whole high levels because people, they're going to know, they're going to be able to see it, first of all. And then not only seeing it, they're going to inquire. They're going to ask questions. They're going to know what's up. They're going to want to know what's going on. They'll ask questions about the mark of the beast, the RFID chip. They're going to want to know why all this stuff happening. And that's why in the book of Isaiah says, wisdom and knowledge should be the stability of thy times. Because having that wisdom and knowledge, being wise, knowing how to move while all this stuff happening, and having knowledge of knowing why it's happening. A lot of people are going to lack that, and they're going to gravitate towards that. So I just want to read this. I was just thinking about a story about with that type of value in a man comes back to the man, his actual, ability to be a man. Because this society make all this shit, pass all these laws for, all these other little alphabet groups and feminist laws and all that other stuff. But when you really want to be a man, though, they want to keep you docile. They want to suppress you and just limit you. When really, we got the spirit that's mighty. It's not something that really want to be suppressed. That's why you have some people in the hood or whatever, they be acting out, doing stuff because they have all this energy. They don't know where to direct it at. It just so happened, Yahweh Shem Yahushua gave us something to direct our energy towards, and that's towards serving Him, and which is the duty of man. Now, but reading the book of 2 Samuel, chapter 15, I'm going to start at verse 15. And it goes in and talk about David when he was fleeing from Absalom because his own son was trying to kill him, which came back because Malak Dawadah committed adultery and also had a man put to death before this even happened. So technically it was like it was his judgment while all this stuff was happening. Like the scripture says, a wise man understandeth judgment. So the reason why this was happening because he sent the guy out to go to battle, knowing he was going to get put to death if he was on the front line. And then the guy got put to death. So ultimately, David ended up getting a woman pregnant. That seed ended up dying. And then another son ended up coming about. And as time passed, Absalom, he wanted that spot. He wanted that throne. So he was doing all type of stuff. And the spirit was put on him to come after David. Now, but anyway, in this scripture, I want to read, and some more scriptures I'm going to pull along with this. In verse 15, once again, in 2 Samuel chapter 15, it says, And the king's servant said unto the king, Behold, thy servants are ready to do whatsoever my lord the king shall appoint. And all that calling your man, oh, shut up, nigga, and all that other stuff, hey, that shit going out the window, man. Back then, they was showing more respect. They weren't coming with some old wicked-ass mind frame, a bunch of drama and all this other stuff. That stuff gonna change because people gonna really see, like, what's valuable, who is valuable, as more of this stuff come to pass. Now, verse 16, it says, And the king went forth and all his household after him, and the king left 10 women, which were concubines, to keep the house. Now, they weren't fighting and bucking up, saying, well, I don't want to be around her and all this other stuff. No, they was in order, and those was concubines because he had wives also. Now, verse 17, it says, And the king went forth and all the people after him, and tarried in a place that was far off, and all the servants passed on beside him, and all the Cherethites, and all the Pelethites, and all the Gittites, 600 men, which came after him from Gath, passed on before the king. And the main point I want to bring out is the value of a man, ultimately not just no any man, the man of the Lord. Because having the Holy Spirit placed upon you and being able to understand what's really going on and break down these scriptures and decipher all this information. And let me pull up this one scripture real quick. It said, Be ready to answer all things. Because some people be like, oh yeah, you know it all. Like, no, we don't technically know it all, but hey, if the Most High wants you to know it, He's going to give it. And also in the book, I want to say in the book of John, it says you have an unction from the Holy One, and you know all things. And all things is talking about pertaining to these scriptures. And some people can't deal with that, but it's really a gift, man. It's a blessing. The book of Revelation says, blessed is he who readeth. So you got to read this stuff. It can't just be letting your book sit around, read one page, and then close it. It's the book of Colossians, chapter 4, verse 6. It says, let your speech be always with grace, seasoned with salt, as you may know how to answer every man. So, knowing this book and knowing these scriptures, if somebody come with questions, you should be able to answer every question they got. That's just what it is. Now, some people might look at it as some arrogant thing, or whatever. No, it ain't no arrogance. Hey, the Most High gives certain people gifts to answer questions, and be teachers or leaders or whatever the scenario may be. You're supposed to be able to guide them in the right direction and steer them away from the wrong direction. And that's going to be highly valued as more of this stuff happens in the society. Because right now, you know, people, you meet your woman or whatever, and you tell them you get into the Bible and stuff like that. They don't really care about that right now. All they care about is they little cash app and when they going to get their nails done and all this other stuff. Think about where you're going to take them to eat. You know, little silly shit. But when reality really strike and heavy judgment start falling upon this place, because they ain't really came yet, it's coming, and they ain't really came yet, then they're going to realize, oh, snap, now it's time to get in order. Then they're going to be coming in this spirit right here. It's in the book of Isaiah. I'm going to read through this. The book of Isaiah, chapter 4, verse 1. It says, and in that day, 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread, wear our own apparel, only let us be called by thy name, to take away our reproach. In that day shall the branch of the Lord Yahweh be beautiful and glorious. And also in the book of Isaiah says, a man shall be made more precious than fine gold. It says a man, not a woman. Because women, they have all this liberty. Let me put my screen a little bit. They have all this liberty, niggas thirsting. Bitch post 1,000 pictures. Niggas liking the shit every second. So that stuff right there, it get the people here. But that role gonna reverse. And a man can be more precious than fine gold. So women, they gonna see that and they gonna wanna come. They gonna wanna humble down. They might bring friends with them. Or sisters, whatever the scenario might be, however the Most High set it up, it's gonna happen. And it seemed like, oh, it ain't gonna happen. Yeah, okay. When real shit happening, people do all type of stuff when they get in survival mode. Anyway, it says, in that day shall the branch of the Lord Yahweh be beautiful and glorious, and the fruit of the earth shall be excellent and comely for them that are escaped of Israel. So it ain't just talking about any man or whatever. It's talking about the ones that's going to escape, the elect. That's what it's talking about. The ones that's going to escape the plagues, the famines, these concentration camps. The ones that's not going to take the mark of the beast, the RFID chip. And in verse 3 it says, and it shall come to pass that he that is left in Zion and he that remaineth in Jerusalem shall be called holy, which the word holy just means separate or set apart. They ain't gonna fit in and do everything with everybody else. And people wonder why you don't do that either, not even realizing this is why. But reading on, it says, even every one that is written among the living at Jerusalem. When the Lord Yahweh shall have washed away the filth of the daughters of Zion, and shall purge the blood of Jerusalem from the midst thereof by the spirit of judgment and by the spirit of burning. And the Lord Yahweh will create upon every dwelling place of Mount Zion, and upon her assemblies a cloud and a smoke by day, and a shining of a flaming fire by night, which is talking about the chariots. Because Just like when the Exodus was going on, it was talking about how people were leaving from out of Egypt, and it was a cloud by day and a pillar of fire by night. That was talking about the chariots. So as it's still going on in these times, the same thing gonna be happening again. You might be somewhere it's raining. You're trying to figure out how you can get some shelter in a chariot up here. Or it might be somewhere you might end up in the woods. It's hella dark. You can't see nothing. You don't know where to go at. In the chariot up here, so you can know which way to go. And there's been sightings. People be out in the woods camping or whatever, and they see them out there anyway. So it's nothing for the Most High to call an angel and sanction them to come over you. And reading on some more, it says, "For upon all the glory shall be a defense, and there shall be a tabernacle for a shadow in the daytime from the heat, and for a place of refuge, and for a covert from the storm and from rain." And I'm gonna read a few more scriptures, and I'm gonna just end this off. I don't want to make it too long. I just want to go into this. And I was just thinking about this topic because I come across a lot of women and stuff like that, but they be out of order. But reality gonna have to hit for them to get in order. And ultimately, Esau kind of made it. I won't say kind of, actually made it a little bit more difficult for a man to really do exactly what he's supposed to do. Because there's nothing wrong with having multiple women as long as you take care of them. And I'm gonna read this other scripture and it goes into that. Go back real quick. Because it also mentions in the scriptures, he that does not take care of his own household is worse than the infidel. So, if you dealing with a woman, you supposed to take care of her. You supposed to make sure she's safe, she's straight. Physically, mentally, all that different stuff. So she can guide the house. But thanks to these fucking Edomites, they created all this stuff to keep the Israelite man docile and suppressed and put the women on a pedestal. Like it also mentioned in the book of Jeremiah, I should create a new thing in the earth and a woman shall compass a man. Hey, most women, they look like, I don't need no man. What I need a man for? I can buy my own stuff. I can take care of my own self. I have my own help. That stuff gonna change, man. For the better, too, because a man really supposed to be in charge. There's nothing wrong with that. It's complete order. You got Yahweh Shai, the man, the woman, then the children. That's the order of things. Now, in the book of 2 Samuel, chapter 20, verse 3, it says, "And David came to his house at Jerusalem, and the king took the 10 women, his concubines, whom he had left to keep the house." And that's what women are supposed to do, keep the house while the man out battling or putting the word out or whatever scenario may be, doing the manly duties she's supposed to be doing, the womanly duties, cooking, cleaning, making sure the kids good, making sure they know what they supposed to know, because the man gonna teach his woman what she supposed to know, so therefore she can pass that on to the kids. Now it says, and put them in work and fed them, because you ain't supposed to just you run around and have a shitload of women, and then you ain't feeding them and not, doing what you're supposed to do with them. And it says, but went not unto them. So even though he had all these women, he potted them, of course, before. But after a period of time, he just ain't deal with them like that. But he made sure he took care of them, like a man supposed to do. It says, so they were shut up until the day of their death, living in widowhood. And that's just what it was. They weren't running off like, oh, he ain't dealing with me no more. Let me go find me a new nigga to mess with. No, it wasn't none of that stuff going on. They lived according to how they were supposed to live. Now, I'm going to read on some more. I'm going to another scripture. It's in the book of Isaiah, chapter 32, verse 2. It says, and a man shall be as a hiding place from the wind, and a cover from the tempest, as rivers of water in a dry place, as the shadow of a great rock in a weary land. And that's the value of a man. That's what's going to happen. Because right now, some women, they humble down. I ain't going to say all women be wicked and be bucking up and doing stuff. But you have some women that try to be humble women and do right by their man. And they'll humble down. But majority of them, at least a good 90% of them, they ain't doing that shit. But once society once shit really hit the fan, They're gonna be doing that. Like, I'm gonna pull this one other scripture. I was just gonna end it off with a few more, but I got this one also. They talk shit and scoffing out. They're gonna be speaking plainly. Like, oh, you into that Bible? What you doing, reading that Bible? Are you watching them videos? Hey, they ain't gonna be saying that when these zoos, these gates get opened up. Animals be running free. Animals come from their habitats and be running around. And these apparitions be appearing. Like mentioned in the book of, I want to say Sirach, Wisdom of Solomon, if I'm not mistaken. We got these troops rolling around, grabbing people up, throwing them in camps, kicking in doors, gunning people down. They're going to be speaking plainly then. Like the scripture right here says in the book of Isaiah, chapter 32, verse 4, it says, the heart also of the rash shall understand knowledge, and the tongue of the stammerers shall be ready to speak plainly. So all that shit talking and scoffing, oh yeah, you just reading that Bible, it ain't going to happen. People been talking about that. Hey, they're going to be speaking plainly. Now, I'm going to end this off with this last scripture, and that'll be it for this one. I know I said I was going to end it off with this one, but it just hit me. I got one more in my mind after this. That's in the book of Isaiah, chapter 13, verse 12. It says, I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than a golden wedge of Ophir. And I was talking to this woman about this other scripture recently, and she was like, she respected. Because she asked me why I'm so different. Like, because people know, man, they can see it. They know it's like, it's something different about this guy. Like, he ain't like everybody else. Like, he ain't built like everybody else. What's different about him? And I was just basically breaking it down. I told her this. I was like, hey, this is what it is. And it's the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 3 and verse 16. It says, know ye not that ye are the temple of Yahweh, and that the spirit of Yahweh dwelleth in you? So the men are the temples. The Most High dwell with men, like mentioned in the book of Revelation. And I'm going to end that off on this, because it's more scriptures keep popping in my mind the more I think about it. Because the spirit dwell within men, man. Not in no building. Not none of that other stuff that people be trying to bring out. Now it's in the book of Revelation, chapter 21, verse 2. It says, and John saw the holy city, New Jerusalem,